I'll start off a little bit just to set the tone a little bit. So I made a video, what was it, a day or two ago
Looking
about,
like Ghostbusters.
huh?
He came out looking like the
Oh
Ghostbusters.
yeah, video a few days ago.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
DTF powder and how it possibly could give you cancer, right? Long, like and let's put this in context. Long years and years of exposure um, gave a certain person. This is alleged, by the way. I mean, it's. I don't want to say downplay it and say it's alleged because he's definitely going through what he's going through, right? But I in no way, shape, or form did I make that video with the intention of scaring people away from pursuing DTF if that's something that you planned on doing. And I gotta say, honestly, I have to say that I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm a little bit disappointed in a few people. I watched the comments of the video that I posted on YouTube, and guys, I'm talking about guys right now. I'm not talking to the women that watch the channel. Guys, we're supposed to be men, and the last time I checked, if there's danger involved, right, as a man, right, you're supposed to put the women and the children to the side and say, I got this. Step up to the plate, get whatever you need to get to make the proper, to make sure you're safe and carry on about your business. Back in the day, right? I know we're not in those times anymore, but back in the day, you know, men used to go in caves with no protective gear on and coal mines, right? Back in the day, people used to do very, very labor-intensive jobs. And even still today, people do very, very labor-intensive jobs. And what do? They get the proper equipment that they need, and they get the jobs done anyway, right? So if you have something in mind that you want to pursue, and something as small as $25 worth of protective equipment gets in your way of pursuing that, then think to yourself what other opportunities you're going to miss out on because of very, very small, minute things, right? And okay, nobody wants to get cancer, right? So take the necessary precautions not to get it. But in today's day and age, how many other things do we experience, do we encounter that have the likelihood of giving us cancer on a day-to-day basis? Like really that
Yeah.
that are not even going to benefit us, right? So a lot of you guys on here, a lot of you women on here probably smoke cigarettes, right? A lot of you guys do hookah, right? A lot of you guys eat fast food. All that stuff can give you cancer, right? Yeah, fast food can give you cancer, right? You know, a lot of sugars, that stuff is linked to cancer. A lot of you guys do all this bad stuff that you can't benefit from, but when it's something that you can benefit from, you're scared of it. But yet, in fact, the fact still remains that all you have to do is take the necessary precautions to protect yourself, and that thing can be alleviated. So
Right.
I say that to say I didn't want to discourage anybody from purchasing a DTF printer if you wanted to, if that was like what you were aspiring to do. I want to inspire you guys to chase your dreams. I want to inspire you guys to be the best version of yourselves. And the main reason why I make these videos is so that people can help themselves. How can I say this? People can help themselves have an easier time in life just by, garment decorating or decorating clothes. Clothes is one of our biggest expenses. When you have kids, as an adult, you have kids, you got to buy clothes. for yourself, before you have kids, you got to buy clothes. You buy clothes all year round, right? So imagine if you can take that little bit of bill out of your pockets, right? And you can just decorate your own clothes, buy some cheap stuff and decorate your own clothes. And as little as it sounds, it makes a very, very significant impact in your finances.
I'm gonna move the device, Dub.
That's cool. Put some dangerous jobs that you guys might do in the chat. Some of you guys are in the nursing field, right? And you guys put your lives in danger all day by dealing with patients that are ill, that have illnesses that you guys don't even know what it is. You know what I mean? Some of you women do the same thing, right? You know, some people work in power plants. Some people work in stressful environments, in hazardous environments where you can get crushed by heavy equipment, right? Some of you guys are law enforcement. I was in the military. You know, when you're in the military, you risk all types of stuff, getting blown up, but you do it anyway, right?
Right.
Because somebody got the job done, you know? And my intentions was to bring awareness to the fact that this is something that could happen, and this is something that that we should be protecting ourselves from,
Right.
so we can remain safe, and that's it. And also, so the manufacturers can be aware that we know what this could do, what this can do, have the ability of doing, right? So that they can take the necessary precautions so that we can be safe. But in all fairness, it's not 100% their responsibility. It's also our responsibility now that we know. Like I said before in other posts, I said, once you know better, you got to do better. So now that we know, it's not about stopping and running away from the thing. It's about protecting ourselves. In the chat, guys, make sense? Robbie said being a father is dangerous. That's right. Isn't that the one?
Baby formula is dangerous.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said baby formula can be dangerous.
Baby formula can be dangerous. Hey, living in Philadelphia is dangerous. Walking down the street is dangerous. Getting on the subway is dangerous. Getting on the train is dangerous. You know, walking across.
Right.
Like this. Listen. When it's your time to go, it's your time to go. And if it's not your time to go, it's not your time to go. You know what I mean?
Right.
It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So like, you guys gotta like put things in perspective. That's why I say like a lot of us have our priorities. We don't have our priorities together because these things, these pieces of equipment, have the ability to really, really put you guys in a good position financially. To really, really, you know, change your trajectory moving forward in your life.
It's all day. I'm
Moving on DTFs all day. And I printed DTFs earlier today. I just put on my protective equipment and I got to it.
Yeah.
Initially, when I found out, I was initially like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing this anymore. But then I thought about it. And I thought about the type of person that I was. And I'm not a quitter. I'm not a quitter. I'm more of a person where I see a problem and I figure out the solution.
Yeah.
And I work through it. And then after I figure it out, I tell other people what I've done to work through it so they can work through it.
Right.
Together. You know what I mean? I'm not here to crush your dreams, you know. And let's face it, you know, printing DTFs is not for everybody. It's not for everybody. It's not for you. This message is not for you. But if it is for you, and if you've ever thought about it, you owe it to yourself to give it a shot, so that you can put that, hang it up if you don't like it, and you know, don't ever have to say, "I wonder what would have happened if." You know what I mean? This is life. You got one life to live, and you don't want to live your life with regrets. You don't want to live your life not trying to do better for yourself.
Right.
So I'll let you jump in, Group.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, for those that have watched the video, you know, I mean, knowing Brother Earnest personally, you know, anytime somebody has cancer or any type of illness, you know, it's a serious thing. So first and foremost, you know, I'm wishing him all the best. I think that, you know, and when maybe it's me, but I have the tendency like I'll try to dissect whatever video, whatever it is, you know, like I really want to hear something that makes me research, you know, and in researching it, obviously, you know, the type of cancer that he has, probably not going to pronounce it properly. It's some anti-plastic or something, is what it is, which is a thyroid cancer, right? I don't know his past, his medical history, prior to anything. I don't know anything of it. I personally feel like there may be some other underlying factors because we don't know, right? DTF, we don't have a 10-year marker. We don't have a 15, we don't have a 20-year marker to say, okay, you know, X amount of people, you know, unfortunately, due to whatever powders or whatever fumes, you know, they can't speak to it. We don't have those markers, right? So we don't truly know. I do know that, you know, what we have always preached, whether Brother Ernest had put that video up or not, I'm actually glad that he did, because for folks like us, you know, myself, who, you know, I'm not going to say smaller scale, you know, but there are other guys in the DTF realm now that, you know, we're not in the same circles, but I think that us guys down here, for whatever reason, we don't really get heard, you know, and we have been preaching this from the beginning. I know damn well I've been preaching this from the very get-go. Proper PPE, ventilation, how to vent it properly, you know, and I think that, look, that's his platform. He can do whatever he wants. I'm not going to say he jumped the gun, but for some reason right now that video is taken down or it's on private, you know, because it spooked a lot of people, you know, and it spooked an entire industry. However, I'm glad that he did do it, because now it's opening up the conversation, not just for us, but it's opening up the conversation for these companies. I've talked to a couple of them personally today that, you know, that sell these pretty big, you know, machines and powders and consumables, right? And they're now taking the extra measure where they're sending things in to be tested. You know, a lot of the stuff we know comes from China. I'm not going to say that they don't care. I know that they live a little different than we do, right? But Brother Ernest also did make a point in that video that, I think it might have been one today or yesterday, where he said, it is not the current powders. These are powders that I purchased before, right? And then if you know him, and I'm not taking any shots at Brother Ernest, I actually happen to have a lot of respect and love for him. We had a beautiful conversation, but maybe 2 weeks ago, if that, he never even told me any of this. But I do know, if you follow Brother Ernest long enough, that dude is a walking printer. If he can print from one of his limbs somewhere, he'd be printing from that limb, you know. But this is also a guy who had, you know, tons of printers and everything everywhere, all through his house. He purchases printers, refurbishes them, and then gets them back off, right? So I think there's plenty of different learning lessons here, which I didn't say it in this video that I'll probably drop in a couple days, is that he's also taught us that you have to be safe, especially if you're in an environment that's enclosed. This is in his house. I know he's got a shop or something now, but, you know, you got to be, no knock to him. You got to be smarter than that, than to have, you know, and I'm talking maybe 20, 30, whatever printers at one time in his home, right? So you're not using proper PPE at all, which he didn't, because he's telling you in this video, I got it in my beard, I got it in my hair, I got it in my
Yeah,
clothes.
and I've never,
Then he showed the video.
I've never.
Yeah, never, neither have I, right? But then there's a lot of questions that come into to play too. The people have asked me, I asked, is when he zoomed in somewhere, I think it's nasal passage or whatever it was, and he said, that's a bunch of white buildup right there, that's the powder right there. We don't know. Like that's, how do you get that much powder stuck there? And we know that, you know, this powder also has to be activated by heat too. So there's a lot of questions, and you know, this I'm not a doctor, so I can't say what he has, what he doesn't, how he got it, where it came from. But what I can say, and what's most important, is that this should bring awareness to anyone out there who is crafting from home. I mean, I crafted from home, but I was very careful. But he also made it a point when he said that it's for the folks that are at home that have just a regular printer, especially the converted printers, you know, and they have the bucket where they're dipping the film in there, flicking it off, you know, and using no mask or whatever else. One, it's in your house, in a small little bedroom or whatever. That's already dangerous. Two, you have no mask, no gloves, no eye protection, and you're just flicking the powder. That's something that a shaker in an oven should be able to do for you. So that's already dangerous. And I think that that should bring some awareness to those folks that are doing it from home or whatever, wherever, some small space or what have you. That's what I think the message should have been, instead of sending this entire shockwave throughout the industry, because that caused a lot of fear. But again, at the same time, a bunch of awareness. Another thing I'll say too is, at the end of the day, I'm not telling anyone to come buy transfers from me, to buy them from you, to buy them from whoever. They'll buy transfers from whoever they want. I would never take this man's life or what he's going through, and I would never use that as a way to sell a transfer, push a machine. That man has cancer, and he's told us he's got 6 months to live, if that. No way, shape, or form am I going to make any video saying, don't buy a machine. This is why. Buy a transfer instead. You're still promoting something on this guy's head. That just doesn't sit well. Huh?
Promoting something from from the demise of somebody else. That's
Yeah. Yeah, like this man is dying, and he's shooting videos to still bring awareness, and we're out here. I would never say pump a machine. I never did that before anyways. I still wouldn't do it now. I say, if you want to get into it, if you have the resources, or if you're crazy like me and just jump into it, I mean, that's up to you. I don't provide links to any machines. If you I tell you the company that I work with, and that's it. It's up to you whether or not you want to buy a machine. But again, this is not a time to be promoting anything or saying that, that the people that are pushing machines, they're wrong. And I wouldn't say the person pushing transfers is wrong, but what I would say is, this isn't the opportunity to be promoting anything, whether it's safer, whether it's not. This man is telling us, and it's proof. I mean, again, we don't know that the cancer was attributed to, or the powder was attributed, to his cancer. We don't know that
definite thing. It's just,
yeah.
he's based off of his best his best guess. Like his doctor says it, he says it, but it's not like they've done extensive testing and definitely determined that was the factor.
Yeah, you got to scrape someone's lungs and a bunch of other stuff, bro. And look, I'm not pressed to find out if it is, if it isn't. I am praying that he's able to, somehow they can cure it, find it, whatever. That's what I would want, more than anything else. End of the day, this doesn't mean, excuse my French, this doesn't mean shit if we're losing someone. I don't want that for him, and so we don't know. At the end of the day, it's up to God, and whoever someone believes in, it's up to him, But what I do hope is that again, it brings awareness. Like I said, companies are now having to go check and see if it's true, if it's not, and we don't know where the powder aside from, we know it comes from China. That's it, and is it tested coming from there? I don't know. It has hazard labels and everything when we get the powder here, right? But was it truly tested prior to putting that label on there? We don't know. But what I do know is that it needed to happen, and it needed to be said. Yeah, How's he saying shakers make it airborne too? That depends on what kind of shaker that you have. Mine is actually enclosed with the two glass, So I don't really have a bunch of powder that shakes off of mine. But you're right that there are plenty of shakers that will make it airborne. It eventually drops, right? But again, even if it made it airborne, you should be wearing a respiratory mask. You should be wearing something. At some point, we grab gas masks. Dubs had videos with gas masks. You should never touch this powder without some protection, man. Eye, nose, hands. We got the hazard suits. I wear a sweater if I'm digging my hands inside of it. But
DJ Kev 101 on YouTube says that y'all be the guinea pigs in this process. Be safe. Thank you, DJ Kev. We definitely will be safe, and we're trying to encourage other people to be safe as well. And he said these companies don't truly know the effects on the human body. Let's be real. And that's exactly what I'm saying, right? This is just one instance in life. This is just one aspect of life
Right.
where something that's not regulated, and we know it's not regulated. So me, an influencer, and T-shirt buddy being an influencer, we decided to blow the whistle on it and be like, yo, hello. And from day one, since I started this, I said something about this isn't right, right?
Right.
But this is my thing. Bear in mind, guys, this is just one aspect of life. DJ Kev, how many things in the grocery store? How many things in life? How many hookahs? How many stuff all around us? We're all being exposed to cancer. How many cell phone radiations are we getting exposed to on a day-to-day basis? We're all being the guinea pigs for everything. All this
Banana.
is new. If you sleep next to your cell phone and you get headaches, it's probably because your cell phone is too close to
Right.
you. You need to move it across the room. You probably
Right.
need to turn sleep at night. So this is just one aspect. So we're all being guinea pigs of something. They're starting to print steaks. They're starting to 3D print
Right.
steaks.
3D safe.
The FDA approved it. So it's like
Right.
we're all the guinea pigs of something. This is just one instance where we might be able to do something. So you know what I mean? It's unregulated.
Yeah.
So we get everybody to be aware of what the possibilities might be. But there's a real simple and easy fix to this. Just wear a respirator, wear a mask.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying. I'm not saying don't buy a DTF printer if that's what you want to do. If that's what you want to
Yeah.
do, if that's going to help you, make ends meet for your family, by all means,
Right.
put on a mask and make it happen. It's not that serious. You got a lot of guys on here that are like, oh no, I'm glad I didn't do that. Yeah, but you probably
Yeah.
eating fried chicken, right? You're probably drinking alcohol. You know what I mean? Probably.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we got people throwing away. Talking, I'm throwing away my machine. I'm throwing away transfer. I
Right.
knew it. I'm
What I'm
throwing.
saying is
But no.
take your risks in life, take your risks in areas that make sense, and take the precautions when you're taking those risks to make it make sense so that
Right.
it's not such of a risk anymore. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? And us as men, that's what we're supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're supposed to, put our tail between our legs when stuff gets difficult and run. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes.
Right. Right.
Chuck G says, "All right, am I going to keep printing?" Yes, I'm going to keep printing. I printed today. I put on
Yeah.
my Instagram stories. I put on a respirator. I put on goggles, and I was printing. I'm not going to stop printing.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, definitely not. There's no reason to stop printing. There's a bigger reason to just be
Just
safer.
be
You know.
safer. I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do is just be safe. You know. I mean that's all it really is. You know. Be safe, and again, it's a good. It's a really good. Don't mind me. I can't even get this doggone thing open. It's a really good conversation to have.
DJ Kev 101. Yeah, yeah, you're right. Let's not generalize things. There are risks, all risks in life. But my point is, not every risk in life do we have control of. We have control of this. That's
Yes.
all I'm saying. We have control of this. This is one thing that we have.
Right.
Is a ton
Yeah.
of things in life that you have absolutely no control of. So I'm
Right.
not generalizing. I'm trying to, make a kind of comparison, if you will. You know what I mean? But
Yes.
I'm not really generalizing. I'm trying to, make an analogy so people can understand that, don't be scared just because there's a little risk factor involved. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just for curiosity, DJ Kev, I'm 101. Are you a DJ or what do you do? I'm assuming that you're a DJ, of course. I don't know if you do that full time or if you have another job or anything. Just curious, man. Just to open dialogue. Anybody in the chat have any hazardous job that they do for a living? Tell me about your jobs and what you do for a living if you have a hazardous job. I can tell you guys stories.
Huh.
I worked on the railroad. People died. I didn't quit.
Yeah.
I didn't quit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I didn't
Right.
quit.
Right. Yeah. You know, and then
People,
you're gonna
whatever.
obviously you're gonna have the folks, that are gonna be like, well, these guys, they don't know what they're talking about. Watch them get cancer or something too. I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be tons of folks that say that, and it's kind of disappointing because brother Ernest, if you know him, he's brother Ernest. You know what I mean? Like he is who he is, and a lot what breaks my heart is the amount of people that I saw in some of these groups. They're like, oh, that's what he gets, and so I'm just like,
Yeah,
how can you wish that man,
that's
any like that's the craziest thing I've
uh,
ever heard.
DJ Cool Kev. DJ Kev 101 is a military man, bro. You're a military dude. You already know what it is. We suit up. We put on our protective gear and we get to it. You know what I mean? So this is nothing. This is nothing. When it comes to your livelihood, this is nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying is this is nothing. I'm talking I know who I'm talking to now. This is a military guy right here. You know what I mean? I'm a veteran. Like this is peanuts. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
now I know now. Nurse practitioner in a psych hospital.
Let's see.
I would say that's dangerous, Kim. I don't know. I'd say any type of job in the medical field, especially with, when we had COVID scares and all that other stuff, that had to been dangerous. Dealing with people with all types of illnesses and stuff like that. That's,
Yeah,
and I'm not, again, I don't want to generalize it because we're talking about one specific thing here. But
right.
my only thing
Yeah,
is there are things that we put ourselves through on a day-to-day basis willingly that are far more dangerous than this,
right,
and that we have no control over and we can't protect ourselves. I was just trying to make people aware of what could happen so that people can take the necessary precautions so that they don't end up um, in a situation like that. You know what I mean?
right,
And if you choose not to, and later on down the line something happens, then that was your choice. That's a
right.
choice that you know what I mean? So
Yeah, I think it's putting the information out there, and
my pleasure.
that's what people need. But we need it from both sides, though. It's I mean, I don't much care for. I'm not trying to be some YouTube. I don't. That's the last thing on this earth that I would even think of. To me, it just rubs me the wrong way when I don't see all of the information being given.
Yeah.
And I think, for me, I could speak from both sides. Yeah, do you want to get transfers? By all means, order transfers from somebody. If you want to get a machine, before you get into it, study. I mean, do the research. You know, um, there's data. There's data. I was talking to my buddy Richie. I'm not sure if he's still on here anywhere. But you can pull the data on a lot of these parts on these websites, man. And it's specifically telling you what the hazards are. The do's, the don'ts.
Yeah.
And we just don't do that. A lot of people, like, again, I should probably be more clear too when I tell people, yeah, I'm crazy. I just jump into it and whatever. But I probably have missed some information where I do after I do the research. If I can't find it, I call guys that are in my inner circle that are more knowledgeable than I am. So I would say do the research, before. And again, for those, sadly, and it's understandable. But we live in this kind of day and age where, sure, we want to be entrepreneurs. I couldn't see myself doing anything else. I would have to get paid extremely well to want to go sit back behind some cubicle. I can't see that. I want the liberty to set my own schedule. Right. So that's the beauty of being an entrepreneur. I get it. I get that DTF. We've been telling people for years, and now here's this explosion. But a lot of people see it as fast money, and all money or fast money ain't always good money. And so that's the problem that we're having right now. And I can tell you
Rock
from,
definitely be able to join right now. It's one button why you couldn't join and why Rock couldn't join. I forgot to click. I'm sorry.
oh,
I'm
is
sorry.
it on
It
YouTube?
was one
Yeah,
button on YouTube. It was one button that I forgot to click.
yeah, no worries. Um, Yeah, so I remember being in these sublimation groups some couple years back, and I promise you, I was the only person in these sublimation groups. A lot of these groups that I just kept saying DTF and DTF and DTF, and I say it all the time. Yeah, it's annoying when I see some of these conventions and things that are happening. I'm like, how come those of us that were here from like the very beginning, get no type of recognition for, I didn't pioneer it, but let me tell you, man, like Brother Ernest said in his video, he was the first person in the United States to bring it over. He is absolutely correct. Before any of these companies, before this fellow named Dennis Moon, he was the first that I had ever saw, aside from myself talking about it, my boy Ben at Tar Design. There was nobody, but in these groups, man, they thought I was crazy, bro. Like, it's never gonna work. It's garbage, blah 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 blah. And the moment that the people saw there was an opportunity to make some money, they've left these sublimation groups. Everyone's a DTF master, blah 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 blah, right? But again, the same people that were so quick to make money, maybe the same people that maybe giving us stories like Brother Ernest, if they don't take the proper steps to be safe, because the same people that are supplementing are doing it in their house. You got to be safe.
Rube, you want to add anything else to this?
No. I mean, just what you guys are saying, man. I'm with it. I keep calling him a central brand. I don't know the fella's name, but yeah, he's on point. Richie's on here. He's on, another great. If you guys get the chance, whoever's still on here, follow those guys. Richie's one of my really close friends, brands and empires or whatnot, and he's extremely knowledgeable when it comes to all this. Hopefully we can get on live with him, soon as well. Take the precautions. Don't be so quick to be spooked by the people who don't actually use the machine, don't know how to vent, have never had the shop space or anything like that to do so. And I think, again, that message is for a lot of the guys that, a lot of the guys that are crafting from their homes. There's another guy, too, I suggest you guys find. He's an original, too. I want to say his name is Troy Young. I can't think of his YouTube. I'll try to, I'll find it when I put it, my video up tomorrow or something. Troy Young did a video almost a year ago, and he said he was talking about the same exact thing, and he broke it down so beautifully. And here we are, like almost a year later, where his video makes absolute sense. Or you can find him on Facebook. He's in a lot of these DTF groups. Troy Young. I think Brother Ernest mentioned him at one point too. So just get the knowledge. That's all. And and to the guys that want to push transfers, the guys that want to push machines, to each their own. Just make sure that you're given the proper information, not one or the other. And while you're pushing them, please don't do it on the head of Brother Ernest. This is an opportunity. Whether it's pushing transfers, whether it's complaining about another company, don't buy their machine because blah 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 blah. This is not
Right.
this is not a one company issue.
What it is right now is this industry is going through a bit of warfare, like, and I don't want it to be a instance where people are putting other people down to push their agendas, and that's
Right.
that's what's happening, and it's kind of weird. But here's another aspect of everything we're talking about, right, guys? A lot of people ask us questions on a day-to-day basis, right? And when it comes to particular machines, people's first question is, hey, I want to buy this. What's the cheapest X that I can buy to do this? If you want to protect yourself, you can't ask me what's the cheapest. You see what's not making, see where it doesn't make sense right here? So it's like,
Right.
we can encourage we can have these discussions and say, hey, we're not going to buy this stuff anymore until you make it safe for us.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. You have that right.
keep in mind, when they make it safer for us, it's going to cost more money.
Yes.
Are you prepared to pay that? Because there are
That part.
enclosures. I have seen enclosures that are sealed off that can hold the powder inside of them to the point where you don't have access to it, and it can probably keep that down. But that's going to come at a cost. And a lot of people's main question is, hey, I'm looking to get into this. what's the cheapest X I can do to get into this? If you're that type of person, then this is not for you. This is not
Right.
for you, because safety and cheap doesn't mix. You know what I mean? That's all I got.
That part, bro. God, that part.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. I just wanted to go live real fast and encourage everybody that still wants to do this to just protect yourself. Don't be scared. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
plenty of other things that's way more dangerous than this. You know what I mean? It's a shock to everybody because it's new. You know what I mean? It's new. So just protect yourself. That's it. You know what I mean?
I'm with that, man. I appreciate you, Dub. We'll get back on later on. I'm on my last package, man, so I got to run to UPS, brother, so I don't miss them in the next 20
All right,
minutes.
man.
So I'm tapping out early, but thank you guys for watching, and and continue to just seek out the information. It's out
All
there.
right. Thank